This model kit reviews of a model that I've already made. It's a 1/48 scale model by Monogram of the F-80 Shooting Star, and this model is actually interesting because you can actually have a model that the rear half of the fuselage and tail actually comes off, so you can see the engine and the exhaust pipe. The one challenge with this is it doesn't fit well, so if you are going to build it that you want it closed, you really have to make sure that you exclude parts of this, because you won't be able to see it anyway. But if you do, there's a little nub in there that you can slide this over. But if you do that, I find it splits open the plastic. So I've chosen to have it molded separately, and as you can see here, I've added a little bit of detail here for the engine. Now we have a lot of decals here. They're very nice decals. They're well printed. The model itself has raised panel lines and rivet lines, unfortunately. We do also have an open gun pod here that you can see inside, with the details for the guns that come out the nose. There are the air intakes, and you can see the details there for our wheel wells inside here, and I've painted some of those cables and lines. And then over here are the details for the nose gear wheel well. I also decided to mold the flaps down, so you can see the detail inside there. And I've got two of the bombs with the wingtip fuel tanks. Over here is the molded inside of the fuselage, but also you can see some of the nice details here for the decals, and this is the exhaust port. It was a challenge lining up these stripes with the main body, but it all worked out. And then it also does come with this little frame to be able to support that, so you can display it separately like that if you wanted to. Lastly, we'll have a look inside the cockpit and see if you can see any of the details in there. You can see some of them are painted in there, but they are kind of hiding underneath that underneath the cockpit cover. Here are the instructions for the F-80 Shooting Star. Some details about the plane. Here are the colors needed. Start off with the cockpits here. Pilots is put in. Next we put together the parts of the fuselage, nose gear, wheel well, and then parts for the gun. You can have it open or closed. I like to display as much detail as possible. Here's parts for the jet engine. Next we put the wings together, flaps up or down, and then I put the wheel wells together. Again, they recommend a support post. I don't like those, so I just put a weight in the nose. Here we have the nose wheel well, and then you can have fuel tanks on the sides, as well as napalm tanks or bombs. I made bomb version. Next is the rear fuselage with a tail and stabilizer. Here's the exhaust going on, and canopy, gun details going in. Finally, that's the cradle or frame to hold it in place. There's the decal placement and decal and paint guide. So all in all, some nice features for an older model kit.